Would you worship him? Would you worship him? Christ the Lord.
Welcome back to another Mindset Monday. If this is your first time checking in, it's your boy Fit Man Dan. This is just a time where I come to share a few words that I hope help somebody, help impact some people on their journey through fitness, on their journey through life. If you've been tuning in the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about thought management and just how important it is to self-govern your thoughts, because you don't go anywhere that your mind doesn't go first. You go head first anywhere. You often think things before they actually come into fruition. You often create scenarios and you often create your life in your mind before you actually create it tangibly. And so I want to this week bridge over into the fact that it is not only a smart thing to manage your thoughts, but it's the wise thing to do. It's wise to manage your thoughts. It's wise to govern your thoughts and to protect the thing where all thoughts flow from. And today, that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the wisdom of self-talk on thought management. And I'm going to be reading from the book of Proverbs as I go through the wisdom of self-talk and thought management today. And here in Proverbs 4:23, it says, "Guard your heart above all else, for it determines the course of your life. Avoid all perverse talk. Stay away from corrupt speech." Now, Proverbs is a book on wisdom. Is a book that teaches wisdom, right? And Proverbs was written by Solomon, right? Solomon, the wisest man who ever lived, right? He had riches on riches on riches. He's probably richer than the richest person that you know today, King Solomon was. And in Proverbs, he was pretty much writing to his kids. He's writing to his descendants, and we can learn from his teachings as well. And here in Proverbs 4, he was pretty much giving them wisdom and direction on protecting your heart, right? So your heart is like a spectator. Your heart is always listening. There may be things that are happening around you, and there may be things that you're reading about, you're seeing that you may not take in your conscious mind, but your heart absorbs it all. Your heart is it's always listening. It's never off. It's like the spectator that's just watching your every move. And what happens is the heart is like a sponge. And so the things that you allow your heart to be exposed to, your heart takes them in, right? And when you're put under pressure, and when you're reaching to pull something out, right, what comes out is everything that you have absorbed in your heart, right? And when I say when you go to pull things out, I mean we all, have a sense of intelligence. We all have a bank that we pull from in our mind of information that we have stored up over time. And so what happens is when you need to reach for these resources, right, you can only reach for what you have in storage, right? You can only reach for what you have in your reserve, right? And your heart is like the reserve of your life. What you allow to be stored in your heart will set the premise for everything in your life, right? And one big thing, which is what we've been talking about, is your thoughts. And so here Solomon says, guard your heart above all else, for it determines the course of your life. Right? I often like to quote, you get out what you put in. Right? So the things that you put in, the things that you allow your heart to consume, right, is exactly what you're gonna get out of it. So it becomes then very important, right? Solomon says, above all else, it is important that you guard your heart and you become wise in this area, that you ensure that you're not allowing things that don't serve you, things that are actually pulling you away from the promises of God, pulling you away from your desired future, that you don't allow these things to be consumed. All the negativity, all of the comparison traps, all of the politics and social media trends, and that you don't allow these things that aren't serving you to take up real estate in your heart and in your mind, because from your heart flows everything in your life. And so my hopes today and my hopes with this self-talk series was just that you take heed and you actually become intentional about the things that you consume and the things that you allow to ponder on your heart, because your heart is like the source of all things. You only do the things that you feel like doing. Like I heard I think it was Myron Golden that says there's only one reason why humans do or don't do anything. It's because they feel like it. And so if you allow your heart to be corrupted, which then corrupts your mind and your thoughts, you will be unmotivated, you'll be fearful, you'll be anxious, and you won't do the things that you need to do to carry yourself forward. So it's important that you guard your heart and stay away from all perverse talk and corrupt speech, at least to the best of your ability. Be blessed, be encouraged on today, y'all. I see y'all next week. Peace and blessings.